Hey guys, we are fixing to do an Easter egg look. I'm holding this with my hand right now, so it's like woo, all over the place. But you know, Easter ears, bunny ears, Easter egg. You know, because I was wondering like why eggs? I still don't get the bunny, but why eggs? So if you wanted to hear what I found out, and you want to see what I'm going to Easter egg look like, you know, this is not working. Hang out, I'll be right back. Okay, we're getting started. So, first, just for the eye look, I went with, this is a Juvia's Place, the Sweet Pinks, and, like, seriously, I think I used them all in there. I'm going to wait until I'm done to do the mascara, so there's that. And then, for the inside, just the little spot, the dot, isn't that beautiful? I use the Alamar. Does anybody else remember this palette? Like, I'm trying to reorganize my palettes and decide what to keep, you know, what stays and what goes. But I used this LA Costa right here for my little inside spot, the dot. Yeah, this I need to, I may pull this out for a look I'm going to do this week, because there's a couple of really pretty blues in here. And where am I putting these down at? There we go. Okay, so next, this one. I know I'm looking through all these brushes over here, and there's this is a Sigma. This is actually a super good blending brush, but we're gonna see if we can use it to make some eggs, because this is the Easter egg look. We've got our pot. Let's make a couple of, well, at least one blue egg. We've got our little pot of activated, I don't know if I have enough room here. Like, seriously, I got a little disposable shot glass with some water in it. Now, I'm still practicing with these. Like, it's hard to figure out how much water is too much and how much is not enough. These ones I got from Lorella. I do have one from Suva. I've been, wow, huh? I was kind of putting this video off because I've been waiting. I ordered some brushes. Okay, I think I want to make one like right there. Here goes. Are we going to ruin it? Or are we going to make it actually look like an egg? Oof. Okay, that's sort of an egg shape, like laying on its side a little bit, right? I have had a devil of a time getting these brushes. I just ordered like some regular artistry brushes so that I would have like some fine tip small brushes for, you know, doing this kind of thing. All right, let's put another one like maybe right here. Maybe, oh yeah, we're doing it now, because, whew. Not sure that looks like an egg. Okay, that kind of looks like an egg. Anyway, so first I ordered from Temu, right? Should we do another blue egg? You know what? I think I'm going to... Guys, I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and made some eggs. Let's see, I was talking about the brushes. I'm making some green here. This is not, this takes some doing, so we're going to be doing a lot off camera, but here we go. Let's try this purple one that I can't really see. I was actually thinking of making like a whole basket. Maybe next year. Because this year, I'm just figuring out how to really use these. And this right here is definitely a big enough undertaking in its own, and I don't have my brushes that I ordered, which is really not helping. So yeah, I ordered brushes from Temu, right? That package toured Florida. Like literally, I'm watching the traffic or the tracking, and it's going everywhere. Just not in my town, right? Oh, come on. Why, you know, how did I even do this? I don't know. But, okay. That one is going to be one of those eggs that didn't turn out, you know, the way that you thought it was going to. So, you know, I called the post office and they're like, oh yeah, I see where it's at. I'll send them a message. You know, you'll get it tomorrow. So I don't get it the next day. Instead of that, the post office, you know, my local post office right here in my small town calls me and says, you're not going to believe this. Okay, I believe you. I believe you. The package went back to the major hub in Gainesville, and instead of putting it in the bin for the correct town, they sent it back to Temu. So, like, you know, I had to go through all that, got a refund from Temu, all that. Okay, I think let's try this one. You know, and I was like, okay, well, sometimes things happen, right? So, not really that concerned about it, you know, but still I'm wanting the brushes. You know, I got these little like artistry brushes with the fine tips on them, so I can do, you know, like this, what I'm trying to do right now. And so I go on Macari and I find some really like the perfect set, and they're reasonable. Now, you know, Macari is like private people, right? I'm going to put one right across the middle of that. And, you know, I mean, come on. It's coming from California. It's not like it's coming from, I'm not sure. It might be coming from Idaho. But, you know, on, post office. It's not coming from China, right? So, so I go through all that, you know, I pay, and right now, that package was supposed to be here on the 7th. It said it was delivered. I run down to the mailbox, and guess what? It's not there. So I go back into the Macari where the actual tracking is at, right? And instead of just seeing what they say, I hit the actual tracking number. And that is, oh, have mercy, there it is. That says it's out for delivery. Well, I'm like, well, it's nighttime, so it's not out for delivery, you know. So, I've had it happen before where it says it's delivered and then the next day it shows up. So I wasn't real concerned. So on Tuesday, that Tuesday, okay, why did the first two lines turn out decent and this one's not? I don't get it. It still doesn't get here. So, Wednesday, I call the post office. And I can't get them to answer the phone. Okay. So I'm thinking, what in the actual... So I call the 1-800 number. Let me tell you what, that 1-800 number, that is worthless. It, like, really worthless. Like, nothing. I got nowhere on that. It's like, okay, you're telling me the same thing that the actual tracking is saying, and you're not telling me anything. Okay, maybe this one. Not telling me anything new. You know, I already got this from the tracking, and all you're telling me is, and it does not make it so that you can talk to a person. Ooh, interesting. So I'm like, okay, what? What is going on here, right? So then, like, yeah, Wednesday, like I said, I can't even get to. So Thursday morning, I call the post office because obviously it still says it's out for delivery. Like, how is it out for delivery for 4 days, 3 days? I don't know, more than 1 day, okay? How is it out for delivery? I've got a dark blue here. I'm going to see what this does. So, finally on Thursday, I get a hold of the actual post office. The actual post office. And she basically, you know, can't tell me anything. She has no idea what's going on either. But she thinks, see, I think it's an envelope and not a box. And I think that it's gotten, like, stuck somewhere on the truck. It's either under the seat or, you know what I mean? It's like, it's somewhere where it's not getting noticed, and that's why it's not getting delivered. So she's just going to send an email to the Gainesville office and, you know, tell them that they need to find it. So I decided to go ahead and do this look without the brushes that I really need to do this look. So, sorry guys, we're using, you know, yeah, eyebrow. Eyebrow stuff. But you know what? Sometimes it be like that. Okay, I should probably use this where I can see it. Ooh. I was hoping that would be enough of a difference from the blue that it would show up, and it is. You know, sometimes when you add water to pigments, they change color. And they're not what you thought they were, you know. So yeah, I'm happy that this is a very, like, this is a, I could use this for a American flag kind of a blue. I can't quite tell if I'm all the way to the side or not, right? Okay, I need a little bit more water. It's really hard to gauge how much water you need, and right now it's kind of dry here, so because usually it's humid, so go figure. But it's the water is evaporating really quickly, so it's like I have to keep re-adding water. And then there's the fact that wrinkles do not help. Okay, not bad, not bad. But I'm going to put a line across this one. So this is why I'm doing this with not the type of brushes that you should be doing this with. Because I really wanted to make like zigzags, which obviously did not work with this brush. But you know, I always say things happen for a reason, you know, for whatever reason. God is, I mean, it might not even have to do with me. This might be on somebody else that God wants to have some kind of effect with the packages. I don't know. Alright, I'm also going to do, seriously, I go back to get it and it's dry. And I've got the fan on, which is probably not helping, but if I don't have the fan on, it's so hot. So hot. So, let's see what we can do with this one. Come on. Alright, so we've got two more that we can put lines on. I am going to be right back. Okay, this is super time consuming, so I went ahead and did a lot of the lines. So yeah, there's that. Now, I want to put some polka dots on there. I think I need this mirror. So, I don't think that the lilac, lavender, whatever it is going to show up real good. Let's go first with the green. I'm going to use Q-tips. Get the water on. It's still like it's not completely dried down, so I think I can make it work a little bit more quickly. These are, you know, weird Q-tips, so there's that, but let's do maybe a couple dots right there. Okay, so I'm trying to make the Q-tip work. It's almost like I need one end for mixing and one end for applying. I don't know, we'll see if that works. Does that look like, can you even see? Can you see the little green? Yeah, this is totally not video material because this is really time consuming. So I may go ahead and do the dots. I did want to talk about, where's my piece of paper? The Easter egg in general, though. I did go online and figured out, you know, tried to figure out why eggs. Okay, why eggs? Okay, it was a, the egg is used in many religious customs. It is an ancient symbol of new life, which, you know, Jesus on the cross so that we could have our new renewed life in heaven. Yeah, so there's that. I'm getting this all over me. This is not working out the way that I had anticipated. So yeah, the egg is a symbol of renewed life. That makes sense. Also, from a Christian perspective, the Easter egg represents Jesus' emergence from the tomb and resurrection as a chick emerges from the egg. Okay, so to people who only know eggs as like not something that actually opens up and produces life, that might not make a whole lot of sense. To those of us that have hatched eggs and waited patiently and seen how many times it doesn't work, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. What other color are we going to go with here? I think that, I think this one is done. But maybe we could put a couple dots on this one. I want to try this red really bad. I need a brush that I can use just to add water. I'm gonna try this one. So yeah, that was where was I? Jesus' emergence from the tomb and resurrection, just like, you know, the chick comes out of the egg, not resurrected, but it is, you know, a life is created. Okay, here's something that really kind of makes sense. I didn't know. Eggs were forbidden during Lent, which was 40 days before Easter. So you couldn't eat eggs, okay? There was no eating eggs allowed, right? But during Lent, they would decorate the eggs. And, you know, I mean, obviously, those we're talking days before refrigeration. So, you know, you didn't really refrigerate eggs back then. But you could decorate the egg and, you know, put it back under the chicken or what have you. And, you know, or pull it out. And then on Easter, which was, you know, Lent is now over, the decorated eggs were the ones that, you know, you ate because they've been saved from through Lent, you know, kind of a deal here. All right, I'm not sure that this is doing me any good at all, but we'll find out. Ooh, maybe it is. Maybe this might be my official mixing brush from now on. So I thought that was interesting that people would decorate the eggs that they were going to eat on Easter. And that's how the whole decorating eggs thing even got started. Okay, the decorated eggs were eaten on Easter to mark the end of Lent. Here's something else I didn't know. There are some, like I never saw this in my church personally, but evidently in some churches, they, you know, when you have like your little festivals, for Easter, what have you, you know, the kids come and search up eggs. They had this thing called egg rolling, where they would take the hard-boiled decorated eggs and you had to roll it like with, I want to say stick, but, you know, you rolled it with something, and, you know, whoever got it to roll across the line, you know, finish line first one, whatever. But the rolling of the egg signifies the stone being rolled from the tomb. Okay, like that's a totally new one on me. I had no idea, but you know, that's interesting. And then there is the empty shell. The empty shell after you know, the egg is gone, what have you. Okay, I need to put this down and I am not having any luck. The empty shell signifies the empty tomb. Interesting. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, obviously nobody ever, you know, well, I don't know, they may have said this, but I was a kid, so I wasn't paying attention. This is not looking red, is it? But we used to take the eggs and make a hole at the top and the bottom and let all the stuff run out of it and decorate the egg. And so, and you know, even then I was like, why? I mean, it's not like it's gonna last. Why are we, you know? But it's because the egg was empty. Even though it wasn't like cracked open. And the tomb was empty, even though it had not been opened. So, well, that's not really looking red. This is not going to work. So, whilst, I think a lot of this does stem from, you know, pagan holidays. Okay, that's a total not working on that one. You know, Christianity has adopted it and made it its own symbolize of Christ. And seriously, when you think about it, the egg, the empty tomb, the empty shell, not being able to eat the eggs during Lent, you know, that whole thing, like, it completely makes sense. So now I understand the egg at Easter. The bunny, I still don't get the bunny, but I do understand the egg. Okay, I'm going to go off and finish all this, put on a lip, some mascara, make it, you know, Easter, and I'll be right back. Okay, so guys, that took forever, but Easter egg look. Is it a pagan thing? Is it you know, a Christian thing. I think it all depends on how you look at it. I know now that I have some knowledge about the Christian outlook on the Easter egg, I will never look at an egg the same, much less an Easter egg. From now on, anytime I see a decorated egg, I will be thinking of the 40 days of Lent and how that Easter egg is being saved for Easter Day. I will think about the empty tomb and the Lord resurrected. The Easter egg is a lot more than just a decorated egg. And I'm so glad that I looked all that up and that I could share that with you. Easter, guys, we are blessed. We are saved. Don't forget what it's all about. I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of religions, a lot of Christians frown on celebrating the holidays, because there's a difference between going out and spending a bunch of money at Christmas and celebrating the birth of our Lord. There's a difference between candy, eggs, going and searching for the eggs, you know, the whole Easter and really looking at that egg and seeing the resurrection of our Lord. Don't lose that. I mean, celebrate your holidays, but don't lose the meaning. And until next time, I hope you wake up dancing, wake up dancing, ba-bum-bum, wake up dancing every single day. God bless you each and every day. Bye-bye.